Hey everybody, I'm Leif Bakken. Thanks for listening to the Northern Ag Network. It's time for your Montana news and agriculture. It's been pretty dry this winter, and that's going to make it a challenge for producers to decide what we need to plant come this spring. I talked with MSU Extension Soil Fertility Specialist Dr. Clain Jones about soil fertility, especially in a drought. Like many producers, he says we're hoping for some late spring snow and rain. Otherwise,
there's a little bigger risk of seedling damage, poor germination, sometimes too much fertilizer salt in the seed row can be damaging, especially when things are dry.
One thing that can help, and Dr. Jones says farmers have picked up on, is leaving residue behind.
A majority of Montana farmers over the last 2 or 3 decades have migrated more to less tillage, leaving that residue on the surface, which can conserve water, also keep the soil there instead of blowing away. It also minimizes impact of raindrops, and so it's less damaging.
Dr. Jones told me that when we take that residue off of the field, we actually lose quite a bit of those nutrients.
There's great uses for that straw, and sometimes they get paid for it, but they are removing nutrients when they do that.
So what's the next best thing we can do for our fields as we navigate through drought? The answer is next.
I've been shooting since I was young. It's something I've always enjoyed. I wasn't feeling like myself, but my friend noticed. He asked if he could hold onto my guns temporarily. At first, I was a little shocked, but then I agreed. I think he saved my life that day.
Reach the Montana Suicide Prevention Lifeline anytime at 800-273-TALK or text MT to 741-741.
Nasalgen vaccines give calves the strong foundation they need. New Nasalgen 3 PMH is the first and only intranasal vaccine that provides protection against both viral and bacterial pneumonia. That means protection against IBR, BRSV, and PI3, plus BRD caused by Pastorella multocida and Mannheimia hemolytica. Only need viral BRD protection? Ask about Nasalgen 3 with the longest-lasting IBR protection on the market. Visit nasalgen.com to learn more.
On today's program, we're talking about soil fertility with Montana State University Extension Soil Fertility Specialist Dr. Clain Jones. We just talked about how keeping residue on a field can be important in a drought year. And without any precipitation, it could be dangerous for the seed when we go to plant. That's why Dr. Jones recommends getting a soil test done for the field so we know what nutrients we're missing or have and don't put resources into something we don't need.
If we don't know what's in the soil, we don't know how much to apply. And so I think the majority of Montana farmers realize that and soil test either annually or every 2 or 3 years so that they know how much fertilizer to add. So, for example, MSU fertilizer guidelines are out there for all of our major crops. They are all based on soil testing. So if you tell me how much phosphorus, potassium, or nitrogen's in your soil, I can tell you how much you need to add, and that's based on decades of fertility research done in Montana and our surrounding states.
I asked Dr. Jones if there are any nutrients that we really don't need to worry about.
14 mineral nutrients that all plants need to grow, and of those 14, there's been 4 that I've never seen a deficiency of in Montana crop, and those include calcium, magnesium, because our soils are rich in those and they don't leach out like they do, say, in wetter environments. And then also molybdenum and nickel, which simply aren't needed in very high amounts.
During dry times like these, a soil test could be really helpful as we get closer to planting this year's crop. Thanks to Dr. Clain Jones from Montana State University Extension, and that's all for your Montana news and agriculture. I'm Leif Bakken, Northern Ag Network.